Timotab, and today I'm going to solve Birthday Cages and Whispers by Ben and Harry. Now, I understand that this is a father-son collaboration, and Ben is the son in this duo, and he is 8.5. And so I have another puzzle set by a youngster, and I am all for encouraging young folk setting Sudoku and variant Sudoku. Anyway, with that said, let us have a look at the rules. Okay, normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. German Whispers. Adjacent digits on a green line must differ by at least 5. So if this were a 3, this would have to be an 8 or a 9 in order to be at least 5 away from it. Digits in cages must sum to the total given and may not repeat in a cage. So these 4 digits sum to 26. And even though by Sudoku rules I could say place 9 there, 9 there, that would be 18, which leaves me another 8. So I could do 4 there and 4 there, ignoring other grid furniture. That would not be allowed by these rules because I'm not allowed to repeat digits in the cage. Okay. If you'd like to try solving this puzzle for yourself, it'll be the first link in the description. I'm going to restart the puzzle to reset the timer, and let's begin. Okay, secrets of German Whispers. First of all, I can't put a 5 on a German Whisper, because if I put a 5 on a German Whisper, the next digit either has to be 0 or less, or 10 or more, and they are not valid Sudoku digits. Next, digits along a German Whisper alternate between below 5 and above 5. Let us suppose I put 1, 2, 3, or 4 in this cell. It's a low digit. Then I'd try putting another low digit here. Well, the maximum difference there would be 3 between the 1 and the 4, but I need a minimum difference of 5. Likewise with 6, 7, 8, and 9. So that means I'm going to alternate between below 5, above 5, below 5, above 5, or the other way around. I don't know which. And the next secret of German Whispers is that 4 and 6 are difficult to place on a German Whisper line because they only have one partner that they can go with. So if this is a 4, the only digit that is at least 5 away is 9, but according to the rules, I'd have to place a 9 there and a 9 there, and that breaks Sudoku. And then 6 with 1s has the same problem. So hopefully we will be able to use those secrets to aid us. Okay, first of all, I can see we can place a 5 here because all of these digits in this column require German Whisper. That means that one of these two is a 5. Because it can't be there by Sudoku, can't be there by German Whisper. Can't be there by German Whisper, so one of those two is a 5, and that places a 5 in one of those 3. Okay, along this row, row 8, yes. So this cell sees both of its neighbors. So does this, this, and this. So they can't be 4 or 6. This sees both of its neighbors, so they can't be 4 or 6. So that means that these 3 cells must be between them 4, 5, and 6 in some order. And looking here, these, that sees both of its neighbors, that sees both of its neighbors, and then the ones that are in the middle of a straight line segment also see both of their neighbors. So these are the only 2 that do not. So they are 4 and 6, and then 4 would go with 9 and 6 with 1. So we can at least place those. All right, let us, yeah, we can do some coloring. I don't know which is going to be high and which is low, but I'm going to color these appropriately. And we can relate this line to this one because these are clearly a 4-6 pair. So if this is the 4 and therefore low, this would be the 6 and therefore high. So it's the opposite color. So that's a purple. And then we get to mark these as purple. And now we get to mark these as green. That's interesting. So 4 or 6, which is in one of those three, is we have both 4 and 6, which between them make a purple-green pair. That means we've got all 4 greens in this row somewhere, and that means that that must be purple. So we can now make these green. That's purple. Okay. So let me think. If this is 5, then I need these two to add up to 6. And I couldn't use a 5 again, so it couldn't be 5, 1. So it'd have to be 2 and 4. And then the 4 couldn't go there. So if that's a 5, this is 2, 5, 4, very explicitly. If that's not 5, how can we make up 11? Hang on a minute. Okay, this, I'm going to do a little bit more coloring, but I don't know which they are. But these are pairs again. So what's interesting about this is that is an odd-even pair. That's an odd-even pair. That's not odd-even, high-low. That's a high-low pair, high-low pair, high-low pair. We are conjecturing that this is not the 5, so the 5 would go there. So this is a high-low pair. Now, if this is not the 5, then that's the 5. Right. This is a high-low pair. And then that's either high or low. If this is... So the question is, can this be high? If this is high, then there are 2 high digits in here, but there are 2 high digits. The 2 smallest high digits would be 6 and 7, which would be 13. Right. So if this is 5, this is 2 and 4, and 2 is a low digit. If this is not a 5, then that is a high-low pair, and that makes that low, because I can't have 2 high digits in this cage. So either way, this is low. So I can mark that in dark blue and high for orange for high, because orange is kind of a warm color and blue is kind of a cool color. So That must be 1, 2, or 3. It cannot be 4. This also must be 1, 2, or 3. These must be from 7, 8, and 9. I don't yet know what's going on here. This 18 cage in 5 cells. So if there were no 1 in it, then it would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is the sixth, adding all those together, it gets the sixth triangle number. I know that's 21. So removing a 1 from 21 would get 20, which would be more than the 18. If I remove a 2 from 21, so 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, then that's still 19, which is still too much. So I have a 1 and a 2 in here somewhere, and that's interesting because that sees 1 and 2, and that sees all of this cage. So it can't be a 1 and a 2, and it can't be a 4. So can it be a 3? Because if it's low, then it must be a 3. Okay. So if this is low and it's purple, then we get 4, 9. If that's, here we get 4, 9, 6, and 1. So purple would be low. So this would be a 2, 3 pair. But that couldn't be the 3 because this would be a 3. So that would be a 2. And that would make that a 3. And where would the 7 go? Right. Okay. Yeah, if this is 3, we've already accounted for 1 because 6 and 1. That can't be a 4. So that would have to be 2. So 7 could not go there because it would be next to a 3. But if this is a 2, and then that's the 4, and that's the 1, then this is a 3, and 7 can't go there. And therefore 7 has no place in the column. So that cannot be a 3. That means that's high. That's really nice. That becomes high, which is orange. These become low, which is blue. Okay. So now we can start putting a few digits in. That's a 4. That's a 9. That is a 6 and a 1. That is a 2, 3 pair. That is a 7, 8 pair. One and 2. Wait a minute. No, I can't say that. Yeah, I can't say that 1 and 2 are. In fact, I know I need a 1 in the 18 cage. There's a 1 definitely here. So that's now a 2 or 3. This has to be a 1 because it can't be a 4. Yeah, because this can't be a 4 because of adjacency. Yeah, so that's a 1. And we've got a 4, 5, 6 triple in the row that we've already designated. Now, this could repeat, but that we already know is not a 4. So that's a 1, 2, or 3. That can't be a 7 because one of those is going to be a 3. So that's an 8 or 9. These are 7, 8, and 9. Right, by Sudoku, there's going to be a 1 here. I know there's a 2 in this 18 cage somewhere. So, oh, that's nice. Okay, so this digit, can this be a 2? That's the question I'm going to ask. Or perhaps better, can I get a 2 into one of these 3? And I am going to say that no, we cannot have a 2 in one of these 3. Because if we have a 1 and a 2 in here, then to make 20, we need another 17. And the only way to make 17 in the remaining 2 digits is with an 8 and a 9, and that can be neither. So 2 is not in one of these 3. That means that 2 is in one of those. And what that means is that 2 is not there, so I need a 2 in my 18 cage, which is here. So that is not a 2. Okay. So I now have 3 more digits in there to make 15. So to make 3 digits in 15, I either have to have 4, 5, and 6, or I have to have a very low digit, a middly digit, or a high digit. So in this case, not the same as the German whisper high-low, but a full entropic high-low. So 1, 2, and 3 is low, 4, 5, and 6 is medium, 7, 8, and 9 is high. Now, the reason for that is if I max out if I try putting 2 low digits in there and I give them the maximum possible, that's 2 and 3, then even if I add 9, I only get as high as 14. So I can't have 2 low digits in there. And I can't have 2 high digits, because if I minimum the high digits, that's 7 and 8, and that's already 15. So adding 1, 2, or 3 is going to break our 15. So I can either put 4, 5, 6 in there, which I still can do, because I could put a 6 down here and a 4, 5 up here. Or it has to be with exactly 1 high digit. one medium digit, and then it'll end up being 3 low digits because we've already got 1 and 2. So how's that going to work? Maybe that's not where I need to think right now. Right, if I have another think about this, can I get a 3 in here? That would give me 4. That would need 16. But 6 plus 9 is 15. So I don't have a 3 in here either. So I have a 3 there. Okay, so I have a 2 and a 3. Yeah, so I have a 2 and a 3 in those cells. Okay. So that's 2 low digits. So this has to be a 4 because, right, this can't be 1 and it can't be a 2 or a 3. That's a 4. That makes this 9. That is not 9. That is not 9. So now 9 is in one of those two, which puts 9 in one of those three, but not this one. Right, this 14 cage does not have a 5 in it. If it had a 9 in it, then it would need another 5. Which would have to be 4, 1. If it has a 9 in it, the 9 goes here because the 9 can't go here because of this 9. So if this has a 9 in it, then it is a 9 in here, and then I get a 4, 1 pair or a 2, 3 pair. Well, this one can't be 2 or 3, and this one can't be 1 or 4. So neither of those pairs is going to work. This does not have a 9 in it. That's not a 9 because of this 9, therefore this is a 9. Okay. And that puts 9 into one of those. So can this have an 8 in it? Then I would need 6 more, which couldn't be 5, 1. It would have to be 2, 4. So that would be an 8, 4 pair there, and that would be a 2. That would work. Can I have a 6 in it? 6 would require 8 more. Which couldn't be 5, 3, couldn't be 6, 2. Could it be 7, 1? No. Here we go. This can't have a 6 in it. I think. Right. If it had a 6 in it, I need 8 more. So if that's 6, say, I need 8 more, which couldn't be 5, 3 because of this 5. It couldn't be 6, 2 because we're already using a 6. And it couldn't be, so it'd have to be 7, 1. So if 6 is here, then I'd need a 7, 1 here, but we can't put a 1 there. And if the 6 is here, then we'd have to put the 1 there, because we know we can't put a 1 there, because we can't get a 1 in this cage at all. So it doesn't have a 6 in it. That becomes a 1, 6 pair. Okay. That means that this is 4 with 7 or 8. Okay, so we now have a 4, so we now need 10 more. So this is a 2 or a 3. And that is low. That is all of my lows for the column. So that places 6 in one of those 3. And that becomes 5, 6, 9. And that one's not 9. Okay. 9 could not have... yes. 9 and 8 would be 17. 9 and 7 would be 16. So I can't have an 8 or a 7 in here. If that's 9, I can't put a 5 or a 6 in here, and I can't put a 4. So 9, 3, 2 is the maximum I could have with that being a 9, which isn't enough, so that's not a 9. That gives me a 5, 6 pair. That's a 9. And that's high. Hang on a minute. Why did I say that had to be 5, 6, 9 up there? Why does that have to be 9? Why can't that be a 9? Okay. These are 5, 6, 8, 9. Or 7. I'm going to... 5 and 9 are up there for sure. Okay, never mind. And that one's not a 9. No, 5 and 6 are up there for sure. 5 and 6 are up there for sure. Don't know about 9. Wait, why do I have... I must have missed that 9 is my problem. Yeah, that's what confused me. I must have missed that 9 when I placed the 9s here. Okay. But this is not a 9. And I do have a 9 in one of these two. So this is 10. And to make 20, I need another 10. And that can't be a 5 because I can't put 2 5s. So this is 1, 4, 6, 9. And this is low, so it can't be 6 or 9. And that can't be a 9, so it can't be a 4. So that's a 1. That 4, 6, 9 triple removes 4 and 6 from there. That's a 5. That is not a 5. That's a 5. One of those is a 4, so those are not 4. That gives me a 6-9 pair. That's a 4. That's a 6. That is high. That is low. That is now a definite 2 or 3. These are from 2, 3, 7, 8. There we go. Okay, that can't be a 6 because those can't both be 1s. So that's a 7, 8, 9, which gives me a 7, 8, 9 triple in the box. So can this be a 5? That would be 2. That would be 4. Oh, that's not a 1. Ah, that's a 2, 3 pair. That's a 1. That puts 1 into one of those two. If that's a 1, then that's a 6. Right. If this is 5, this is 4, that's a 6. And that's 2 or 3. Neither of those can be a 1, which means that it can't in particular be a 1, 2 pair, so that can't be a 7. That can't be a 7. That makes one of those two 7, and now that can't be a 3. That's a 2. That's a 3. Okay, to make 14, I've got a 4 here. That's got to be a 4, 7 pair. Nice. That makes that 8. That makes this 7. That has to be 2 and 1 for the 7. That makes this a 3, and that's a 2. That can still be 7 or 8. Okay. So that is 7, 8, 9. So I need another 9 to go to fill out this cage. And I can't have 1, 8. Can't have 2, 7. Can't have 3, 6. So it must be 4, 5. So that's 2, 4, 5. That means there's a 4 in there. That resolves the 7 and the 4 here. That's high and low. This 1 resolves the 6 and the 1. So these 3 digits are 3, 8. Sorry, these 2 digits are 3 and 8. And these 3 digits are 5, 6, 7. And that one is not 5. And these 3 digits are 9, 8, 3. Okay. These are from 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so we need 9. Okay, if that's 5, that's 2, and that's 4, and that breaks that cell. So that is not 5. That's the 5. Actually, that is not a 2. So now this must have a 6 in it, which has to go there. Let's get the right color. The right color. There we go. And that means that this is that is 8. That's a 3. That makes this a 4. That makes this 9. That is not 4. This 3 removes a 3 from there. I remove a 2 from there. I remove a 4 from there. I remove a 5 from there. That's not 9. Okay. That is 7, 8, or 9. It can be a 7 if these two are both 2. Okay, this 7 cage, this digit can't be a 7, 8, or 9, but I need a third 7, 8, or 9 in the row. So that is the third 7, 8, or 9. That's very nice. So that means that one of those is a 7. But that means that this is a 4 or a 5, but it's a 5 because of that 4. So that's a 5. That makes this 2. That makes this 1. We get a 4 and a 2 and a 5. That's a 3. That means that is no longer 7, so that's the 7. That is not a 7 or a 3 or an 8 from the row. That is a 2. That makes that 3. That makes that a 7, 8 pair. All right, that makes that a 9 and an 8 and a 3 and a 9. So that is not 9. That is now a 7, 8 pair. So 9 was in fact up here after all, but now I've proved it. Okay. Seven is not one of those two, so that's a 7. That's 8 and 7. That is 2 and 8. Okay, let's look back here at what I was thinking about earlier. Can this be the 9? If this is a 9, I can't put 5 and 6 in there. I can't put 8 or 7 in there because that would blow the 16 total. So the highest I could put with a 9 would be 2 and a 3, which would give me 14, which is not 16. So that is not 9. That gives me a 5, 6 pair. That's a 9. These 3 digits are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. That one's not a 4. But in this column, That can't be 9, that can't be 9, that one is. Okay. So this must be, yeah, let's color that because that's a useful thing. This must be a low digit because of the German whisper, and it can't be 1, 2, or 3, so that's a 4. There we go. So that's not 4. So that's a 4. That is a 6-8 pair. That I can color blue. Those I can color orange. Those I can color blue. This one is orange. All right. This 9 makes this a 6. Those are both orange. That is 9. So these 3 digits are 2, 3, and 5. That is not a 2 by Sudoku. If that's a 3, that's a 6. Which it can be. If that's a 5, that's a 4, which it can't be. So that is a 3. That is a 6. That resolves this 6 and 8. This is the last digit in the column and must be an 8. That is not a 6. Okay, I have 15. So I need 11 there, which must include a 4. So it must be 4, 7. And that's the 4. That's a 7. That makes this 5. Okay, got a 6, 7 pair there. Right, this is 1 or 2. Because it can't be 8. This is 1, 2, or 8. Those are not 3. This is a 1, 8 pair. No, a 1, 7 pair. Okay, this is 2, 8, and 3. If that is not an 8, I get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which isn't enough. So that's definitely an 8. That removes 8 from those. And now I need 7 more. No, I need 8 more, which has to be 6 and 2. So that is high. That's a 6. That's a 2. That gives me 1, 3, and 5. Let's color those. That makes this 8 and 3. That 6 makes that 7, and that's 6. Let's get those colored. And that one, and that one. And I've made a mistake because that should be a 5. Oh, that's a 5. That's probably a typo. Yes, because this was a 5, 6, 9 triple. All right, that was just a typo. So that one's going to be the low 2. That one's going to be the 5. That'll be a high 7. That's going to be low. So that's the 1. That's the 7. That's the 2. And that's the 5 there. This 2 is going to make that an 8, and this a 2, and then we get an 8 and 7 here. That's an absolutely fantastic puzzle. Really good use of the combining the German whispers and the cages. I think I particularly liked the 4, 5, 6 in this column, the 4, 5, 6 in this row, preventing the 2 and the 3 to join the 1 down here, because that was a 4, 5, or 6. And then the 18 cage containing a 1 and a 2, preventing that from being a 1 or a 2, and then 3 there preventing 7 in this column. That was very nice. Yeah, really, really like that. Thank you very much, Ben and Harry. Ben, really good job on setting this with your dad. And I hope that you set more. So if you liked this solve, then please hit the like button. You can subscribe to see some more. And I'd love to hear your comments. I'm looking forward to next time and seeing you.